It's Tuesday. We have our technology latest. Kevin Curran is Professor of Cybersecurity at University of Ulster, based at McGee. Kevin, we're going to begin with how artificial intelligence has landed a US lawyer in court.
Yes, ChatGPT, which has taken the world by storm, is like a science fiction intelligent assistant.
Yeah.
A New York lawyer used it to build a case. And of course, one of the main weaknesses in ChatGPT is it doesn't know how to reference really, and it gets it quite wrong, and it also makes up references as well. So this lawyer submitted the case, and they, of course, the opposing lawyers went to read through the citations and follow up on it, and they found that they were gobbledygook.
Oh my goodness! They say appear to be bogus judicial decisions with bogus quotes and bogus internal citations. They seem to have enjoyed the use of the word bogus there.
Very much, yeah. Just whenever, ChatGPT is incredible for helping out and, summarizing it. It's gathered everything on the internet up until last year, really. But the references, because it really is a large language model, it only knows how to predict. It's the best liar in the world. So it only knows how to predict what's coming next. And so don't trust the references.
Don't trust it. Well, I mean, we've talked about this before. There are concerns about the potential risks of AI, including the potential spread of misinformation and bias. But my goodness, the lawyer must be absolutely mortified.
Well, he should be.
Yeah. Netflix password crackdown. This is proving to be quite a controversial move.
It is, of course. Now, their terms and services for many years say that you're not supposed to share passwords, really. And they're trying to limit it now to a household, really. So that if anyone else is using, your password, which many people do share their passwords.
Who would be doing that?
That you're going to be charged $4.99 extra. Now, they have different plans. They've got a standard plan, $4.99 with ads. They've got a basic one of $6.99. But you can get a premium one of $15.99, and that'll add 2 other members as well. But it remains to be seen how to enforce it, because also people travel, and then you're on a different IP address, because it all comes down to IP addresses. It tries to do a geolocation on those. But, and then, of course, you can get around it, for a good while with VPN software as well. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
It will cause a lot of problems for people who have been sharing them with friends and families as well.
Well, Netflix are raging because, LA Times calculated that they lost like 9.1 billion. My head can't get around those kind of numbers, but they've lost 9.1 billion in revenue in 2019. So you can see why that they're desperate to recoup that kind of money.
You can, but they're playing a little bit of a dangerous game in these times, where people watch. So this could be, you could see a lot of people leave the service again. So they rolled out in Spain and other places, and this has followed. But, perhaps, the people who leave are compensated by the people who buy the extra subscriptions as well. But it does remain to be seen, will people get annoyed with this? Because, they got used to it and thought that it was part of the service, being able to share passwords.
Yeah, so the other streamers will benefit possibly from people just going, I'm leaving this.
They will indeed, and Prime Video were making fun of them, saying that we don't mind if you share passwords.
Oh, they're very bold. Okay, a data breach at the NHS. What is going on?
It's quite scary. NHS trusts have been found to be sharing intimate details about patients' medical conditions, appointments, and treatments. Because Facebook have put kind of a pixel, a tracker on these NHS trusts. 20 NHS trusts in the United Kingdom have been found to be sending very sensitive information, actually, back to, people looking up HIV and everything else, and this has been shared with Facebook.
Well, and so my mind is being blown here. So how are they doing that? Are they contacting the patients via Facebook?
No, the tracker is on the site.
On the site, okay.
Meta and Facebook are allowed to, they're not allowed. They actually can rewrite web pages to include these trackers and then record the IP location and actually match it with patients. Again, for their advertising, that's what they do. And also within the in-app browser, whenever you're on Instagram or Facebook, it's always better to go out of them because they can track anything you do within an in-app browser. If you read an article within Instagram or Facebook on the app, they can see what you're doing there. So it's better always to go out of them, really. But it's just that this is the case here.
Yeah, it was collected from patients who visited hundreds of NHS websites about HIV, self-harm, gender identity services, cancer. As my colleagues know, I've got a bit of a dodgy knee at the moment. Does that mean that they've tracked me now?
They'll say no, but actually, I mean, really. So, of course, they lost about 10 billion there last year in revenue, and their shares fell 26% because Apple came along and actually put the onus back on users, say, do you want to be tracked? And of course, most users said no. So Apple again are very are previous champions here, really, that they don't want anything being tracked.
Kevin, this is a shocker. Thank you so much for joining us. Life is good. You're enjoying the sunshine?
It's incredible. I was panicking. I went outside just before you called. 10 minutes in the sun. My phone went into emergency alert mode. It was so hot. That never happens in Ireland.
Right, we'll let you go. Thank you so much, Professor Kevin Curran. It's time for the 1 o'clock news.
On BBC Sounds, your radio, TV and smart speaker. This is BBC Radio 4.
And with the BBC News, this is David Hunter.